Hello and welcome to an MHCHS tutorial on the Literature GCSE Poetry Comparison Response for the poetry paper that you'll take in Year 11. Today I'm going to really quickly take you through a model answer and a very short model introduction that you can use to help you in your preparation for your comparison response, which is the 36-mark question in the Poetry Literature GCSE. I've taken this question from a past paper from AQA. As you can see, this asks you to compare the ways poets present ideas about power in Ozymandias and in one other poem from Character and Voice. So we will be concentrating on the Character and Voice cluster. However, what I'm going to be going through is comparison and how to make your answers as comparative as possible. So this is really relevant for any single cluster that you're doing, even if you're not doing Character and Voice. Okay, first things first, what is this question asking us to do? Well, we know that it is asking us to compare, because it says compare, and we know that it's about power, because that is the theme that they've chosen. Also, we know that we're going to be writing about Ozymandias. So really clear signs here that we're comparing ideas about power in Ozymandias and then one other poem. And that is something that you can choose yourselves. Picking the poem and writing a plan is obviously part of your planning process. But today, to speed things up, I'm just going to go through a model answer with you. And I have picked Medusa. Okay, in your introduction, you want to be really brief. I've said here 3 or 4 sentences, but 2 or 3 will definitely suffice. And you can see here, we've only written 2 sentences. The poems Ozymandias and Medusa explore the destruction of power and the significance of legacy. In Medusa, Duffy writes in a first-person account of the embitterment that stems from the loss of power, whereas Shelley's observer keeps a distance and speculates on the powerful and feared Ozymandias. I'm going to use blue to show where the comparative bits are, and pink where we're talking about language and themes. I can see straight away that we are comparing these poems because we have put them together, Ozymandias and Medusa. And I know that we are looking specifically at the destruction of power and the significance of legacy. This is a high quality first sentence because you have taken the theme and narrowed it down, specified it to exactly what you're going to explore. You're going to explore how power is destroyed and the significance of legacy, which in itself is a sophisticated idea. Once again, I can see in the second sentence that we are definitely comparing, because we use that comparative connective, whereas, okay? So in Medusa, Duffy writes in a first-person account of the embitterment that stems from the loss of power, whereas Shelley's observer, etc., etc. So I know straight away the differences between the two. And what are we comparing specifically? We're comparing the form. So again, I know that this person understands the significant difference between the form. Duffy's is a first-person account. Shelley's observer keeps a distance, okay? It's speculation rather than a first-person account about their own emotions. Okay, as we move on to the first paragraph, again, I can see that comparison is happening straight away. Why? Because we've got here both writers, okay? Both writers use fear to show power. Very simple, very easy to understand. I know exactly what this candidate is trying to say. Shelley uses the image, a sneer of cold command, to describe the expression on the statue. This suggests Ozymandias' desire to remain authoritarian even after life, immortalising his leadership and reminding his people that are his servants. Similarly, and again we've got this comparison, Duffy's Medusa ends her dramatic monologue with the imperative phrase, "Look at me now." She is also trying to immortalise something in a statue, as anything that will look at her will turn to stone. But in this instance, it's because she has been dismissed by a lover, and it is revenge that she is after. Okay, if we look at these sentences in isolation, we can see that this candidate is making clear points, evidence, and analysis, and they're comparing just in these first few sentences. Development hasn't happened yet, but we have mentioned language. Okay, so we're hitting those AOs, which I will be showing you later on. So Shelley uses the image here, a sneer of cold command. Straight away, we're referencing the poem, and we're talking about language because it's talking about imagery here. So far, we've got our points, we've got our quotation, our evidence, okay? And now I know we're definitely coming on to the analysis because it says the word suggests, okay? So this suggests Ozymandias desired to remain authoritarian even after life, immortalising his leadership and reminding his people that they are his servants. So it's analysed and imaged the idea of the sneer of cold command, okay? Then it compares straight to Duffy. So this is a really good way of doing it, having a point, evidence, explanation or analysis, and then going straight in to a comparison with another point, evidence, analysis of the other poems. So let's see how we've done this one. So similarly, Duffy's Medusa ends the dramatic monologue with the imperative phrase, "Look at me now." She is also trying to immortalise something in a statue, as anything that will look at her will turn to stone. But in this instance, it is because she has been dismissed by a lover, and it is revenge that she is after. So again, we have mention of form instead of language this time, okay? Then we talk about language as well in our evidence. So we have the point at the beginning, we have our comparison to what we've already said. Then we talk about form, we talk about the language used, and then we have our very clear evidence, okay? She is also, now that also shows me that there is comparison. She is also trying to immortalise something in a statue, as anything that will look at her will turn to stone. But in this instance, it is because she has been dismissed by a lover, and it is revenge she's after. So in the analysis here, and this is the analysis, in this instance, it is because she has been dismissed by a lover, and it is revenge that she is after. I know that the candidate is still comparing because it uses but. But unlike Ozymandias, it is because she has been dismissed by a lover, not because she wants to be remembered as a king hereafter. Okay, so far, if I just take a look at the mark scheme here that I have got, I can see that this candidate is around a sustained explanation, okay? Although we haven't had the entire essay, okay, it has used details effectively, and it has supported the interpretation. It's explained the effects of a dramatic monologue. It's explained the effects of an image. Okay, it understands our ideas and themes clearly, and there is a sustained focus on the similarities and differences. Well, there definitely is. Look how many comparisons we've already made. Okay, so I can